Here is my review of AEW Rampage and Dynamite week commencing the 23rd of January. If you could like and subscribe to my channel, that'd be so kind of you. So it starts off with Rampage, Ethan Page versus Jungle Boy. Really good match. But then Matt Hardy interferes, and so does Hook. So Jungle Boy wins the match, but Matt Hardy and Hook are there. So they said, let's do a tag team match on Dynamite. Ethan and Matt Hardy versus Jungle Hook. So let's see what happens there. Then we had Ortiz calling out Eddie Kingston for nearly putting his hands on a female, which you should never do. So he was calling him out about that because that needed to happen the other week. And then Eddie basically turned heel and took out Ortiz. So we have a heel Eddie. Then we had Willie Mack. He wrestles in Impact Wrestling or TNA. He went against Brian Cage in a really good match. Big man match. Really, really high impact and power moves. But in the end, Brian Cage won. Then we had Jade Cargill and Leah versus some chicks. Obviously, Jade won. But there's some chicks that seem to be really cool. Hopefully they stay in AEW. Like a twin tag seem. I think they're twins. But yeah, it seemed really interesting, their team. So good luck to them. Then we had Danny Garcia calling out Action, saying he wants to take him out. So we'll see. And then in the main event, we had Action versus Danny Garcia in the main event in a match that Action won. Really good match, though. Go and watch it if you haven't seen it. So that is Rampage. So on to Dynamite. So then, as obviously Garcia lost the match, he couldn't participate in the tag team match. So it was Chris Jericho and Sammy Guevara versus Action and Ricky Starks. Really good match. Go and watch. I haven't seen it, but Sammy actually wins due to interference. Danny Garcia hits Action with the bat, and then Sammy gets the win. So yeah. Then we had Buddy Matthews versus Darby Allin for the TNT title. Really good match. Go and watch. I haven't seen it, but Darby Allin wins, and Joe pops up on Titantron saying, "Hey, I want my TNT title back, Darby. I'm coming for you." Then we had Ethan and Jungle Boy. Jungle Boy and Hook versus Ethan and Matt Hardy. Really good match, but Hook Jungle or Jungle Hook won, however you want to pronounce it. Then we had a sit down with the Gun Club and the Acclaimed, and Billy Gunn was there as a moderator. It's just like a family healing session, basically. Then we had Hangman Adam Page, basically saying he wants more Moxley. So let's see what happens there, because yeah, Moxley did knock him out. Then we had Bryan Danielson versus Brian Cage. Really good match, very technical match. Obviously, you got a big dude versus one of the most technical wrestlers, one of the best wrestlers out there. Really good match, but in the end, Bryan Danielson won, so he's still intact to face MJF for the title. Then we had Tony versus Ruby in a really good match. Ruby won, Soho. Then in the main event of the evening, we had Mark Briscoe versus Jay Lethal in a really good match. Obviously, it's a tribute to Mark Briscoe's brother, Jay, who's passed away. So really good match, and Briscoe won. So that is your roundup of AEW in under 5 minutes. So like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Thank you very much for your time.